This is so rare. I felt like I was untouchable. I just didn't think it could happen to my kid or me.
Never take those shortcuts. Always go the extra mile. It'll pay off in the long run.
This presentation is about the rare syndrome known as SIDS, which stands for the Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. SIDS may be rare, but thousands of families are affected by SIDS annually and is nothing to be taken lightly. SIDS is the unexplained defined as a death that can't be explained even after a thorough investigation and autopsy of a seemingly healthy baby that is less than a year old. SIDS is oftentimes referred to as crib death because they are found dead in their crib while sleeping. This picture illustrates one of the main reasons for SIDS, which is that the toddlers turn over or are left to sleep on their stomachs, which can suffocate them or cause other problems. Like mentioned previously, SIDS mainly affects infants under the age of 1 and infants older than the age of 4 months.
About 4,000 babies die in the U.S. while they're sleeping. 90% of these babies die before they're 6 months old. It's sometimes hard to know if a baby dies from SIDS or from suffocation.
It is more likely to affect boys than girls, and Native American infants are the most likely to be affected by SIDS. This is because Native Americans have a high poverty rates, therefore their environment isn't likely to be suitable for the infant. Out of the 4 million babies born in the U.S., 2,000 of them will die of SIDS, making it a very rare syndrome. There is no direct causation of SIDS. In fact, the exact cause of SIDS is unknown and unpredictable, but there are many risk factors that make the infant more susceptible to it. The 3 main factors of SIDS are the infant's environment, how they are developing, and if they are born with any defects or abnormalities. The environmental factor is important because the parents that have created a more unsafe environment through actions such as smoking around them, the infant is more likely to succumb to SIDS. The other factors such as if the infant has birth defects and or developmental problems, the infant will be more susceptible to death from SIDS. SIDS is unlikely from happening, but there's no way to guarantee it from not happening. There are 5 main ways for prevention from SIDS. These ways are putting the baby on its back when it's sleeping. This is because a baby can easily suffocate if placed on their stomach or side, so always be sure to put a baby to sleep on their back. Breastfeeding is another way to prevent SIDS because it prevents infection and makes the baby less prone to SIDS. Babies who are not breastfed are more prone to infection. Breastfeeding can help reduce the SIDS by 50%. Smoking is one of those environmental factors that can definitely increase the chances of SIDS. Babies born to mothers who smoke during pregnancy are 3 times more likely to die from SIDS. Secondhand smoke also increases the risk of SIDS. Immunizations at birth is another way to prevent infection and to keep the baby healthy, which will also help prevent SIDS. Babies who have received proper immunizations are 50% less likely to die from SIDS. Finally, keeping the baby at a fair temperature will help prevent SIDS. Dress your baby in a onesie or a wearable blanket to prevent overheating. Light and breathable clothing can help prevent SIDS. In conclusion, SIDS is a very traumatic event, yet very preventable. Counseling and therapy is available for those that have had to go through this terrible event. Steps can be taken to prevent this, and preparation is necessary, and will better prevent the chance of SIDS. As for COVID-19 affecting infants and SIDS, there hasn't been enough research to show the effects, but it is determined that if an infant were to catch coronavirus, they would most likely not survive due to their vulnerability.